I want to welcome you back to Black Sided. Tonight we're going to talk about the 4.4 million people who filed for unemployment this week, and we pushed the total to 26 million people unemployed. We should have been prepared for this, and right away we should have used something that Josh Hawley, a Republican from Missouri, had pushed, that basically we would paycheck protect almost 100% of the American workers until this pandemic is done. What he was basically saying, if you at work made $1,500 a week, that's how much you would get every week until the pandemic is done. But we went another way. We saw banks get bailed out again, in which they got trillions of dollars. We seen the Paycheck Protection Program run amok, in which J.P. Morgan was giving money to their concierge, their top people that they represent at their bank. So Ruth Steakhouse was getting 20 million, and large corporations was using that small business protection program to fill their pockets. The average mom and pop who needed 20 or 30,000 was not able to get the money. That's why they had to come back again. But we decided to bail out those who didn't need to be bailed out. The people who need to be bailed out is those that you see in long car lines or outside social distancing in long lines at food banks. You cannot have a depression going on right now. And I'm going to tell you, there are people right now that you know that there's no way they have enough money to feed their families a week on what they're receiving in unemployment and the extra $600. They need a guaranteed wage that they were receiving before this pandemic. So now you either have the choice of them to stay at home. If you're going to have them stay at home, then damn near pay them. I know many of you disagree with, or you can send them back to work. Either one. But we have also decided to argue over trinkets. Now they're paying the hospitals. And you have to understand, hospitals are for profit. They are not some viable non-institution. They there to make money. So they getting bailed out. And they're going to cover all their losses with this bailout program. And now you seeing the governor saying, we need a bailout. But most of you don't understand is that the governors like Governor Cuomo in New York had a huge deficit, because I live here, and he wants that money to cover his deficit, him and Murphy in New Jersey. But they're not covering the deficit of the people of this country. I haven't heard New York State come out with something that they were going to send its residents some money. Have you heard New Jersey, Connecticut, or any of these other states? I haven't heard it. So they'd rather take care of those elites but leave scraps on the table. And I'm starting to really think right now that this whole thing is going to break us down. And you know what it is? All of us going to be at the bottom, scraping for scraps and dependent on the government. And when you are dependent on the government has all the power. When asked Governor Cuomo, people are he said, go get a job as a non-essential worker. Well, Governor, you can't get a job as a non-essential worker because you need a degree to be a non-essential worker. You don't walk in somewhere and become a nurse or a doctor or anesthesiologist. People are suffering, and Congress has to do so. We doing all this for a paycheck protection program, but people have no money. So why don't we go out there, guarantee their money that they receive every week, and stop with the nonsense. This has hit a critical road in America. If you want to break down the country, this is how you do it. Everybody's at home. We have no way to know how they're going to go to work. All income is stopped, so now you relying on the government to eat. And one thing you never want to do in your life is depend on somebody else to feed you, because they can now control you. So if you want something more to eat and they tell you you have to do something that you may not want to do to eat, well, you got to make sure your babies is fed. There's refrigerators right now across America that's empty because they don't have enough money. People were working 2 or 3 jobs, and the income that they're receiving extra from unemployment is not helping. Then you got in states right now, people can't file unemployment because the damn computer system, they not getting calls back, and it's breaking down. And it's been 2 or 3 weeks. And nobody's talking about that. So yes, you will be reimbursed once you get into the system for those following weeks you were not paid, but those weeks you don't have anything to eat. And you have to remember, before this even started, there were statistics saying the average person in America doesn't have enough money if they had a catastrophe. That means I'm not talking about something like a death. I'm talking about something if your car broke down and you had $1,000 and you had to pay for it. The average person did not have money. They had maybe $500 in the bank. So how the hell do you think people across America is dealing with this situation? This is absolutely terrible to watch. And everybody sits around and blames Trump. Well, Trump could be the ideal person to be blamed for this whole situation. But the people who control the purses, the money in America, is Congress. Trump cannot, by fiat, tell people, send them $2,000 a month, because he can't do it. But Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Mitch McConnell can do it. Now we got backlash between Mitch McConnell in the states of New York, New Jersey, because he said go file bankruptcy. Hell, if they saying go file bankruptcy, what are they going to say to the American people who are in a few months, because they're going to be behind in their mortgages? They're going to be behind in their rents. When people start trying to throw them out of their residence because they don't have enough money. Something has to be done. And this is why we have Congress. Something has to be done right away. Yes, we're helping businesses, but damn it, it is not helping the average worker who needs that money to survive right now. People are being overwhelmed, these food banks. Not having enough food, some of them, to give out to people. And people who never in their life thought they would be in a food line are standing out there right now. So I don't know how long this stay-at-home order, they can have it as long as they want if people was getting a check. But if you lose 20, 30, 40% of your income, man, it's not happening. I want to thank you for listening to Black Site. I hope you subscribe to this channel, smash that like button, and share this video.